Hello and welcome to Thought for the Day for Monday, the 20th of July. Let me read you a verse that I've been reading recently and reflecting on. It's from 2 Kings, chapter 18, verse 4, and it says this. Hezekiah broke into pieces the bronze snake Moses had made, for up to that time the Israelites had been burning incense to it. It was called Nehushtan. The bronze snake Moses made was the means by which God saved his people from deadly snakes which were attacking them after the Exodus during their wandering in the wilderness around the 13th century BC. After the event, it was intended to be a memorial to God's grace and power to save. By the time of Hezekiah, in the 7th century BC, the bronze snake was 700 years old. It was a precious, sacred, ancient artifact, an antique. Yet it had ceased to do what it was meant to do. Instead of leading people to God's salvation, it had become a god in itself. And we see that by the fact that it's given a name, a personal name, Nehushtan. And it led people away from the one true God. The means had become the end. It was having the opposite effect than that which it was meant to have. And so, even though it was an antique, even though it was a valuable part of the nation's spiritual heritage which connected them to Moses himself, Hezekiah destroyed it. It was priceless, but it was worthless as an idol. The snake had become a snare. So Hezekiah did something very brave and very bold. He got rid of it. And that made me wonder, what bronze snakes might we have in the church today? Things that once pointed people to God, but perhaps now have become, without our realizing it, the thing itself, the substance of our worship. I'm reminded of the story of Mike Pilavachi's church some 20 years ago when, amid all the music and fervour and growth that was going on, there became an increasing sense that something was missing. Authentic worship. He sensed that the cutting edge music had become a kind of bronze snake. So for a season he stopped the music. Suddenly the worship leader had nothing to do except ask the really rather important question of what worship is really all about. Is it about us getting a God fix to get us through the week? Or is it about ascribing ultimate worth and value to God with our whole lives? Is it about getting something or giving something? The worship leader in question, Matt Redman, turned his reflections into a song, which has subsequently become known all over the world. When the music fades, all is stripped away and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within. Through the way things appear, you're looking into my heart. Sadly, the devil can corrupt even the best things to turn us away from God. So let's be bold enough, like Hezekiah, to ask ourselves the question, are there any bronze snakes in our lives? Things that once led us to God, but now have become a God to us. Are we, like him, prepared to break them up in order to get back to the heart of worship?